Lesson 14, Vocabulary. We're almost done with our vocabulary lessons for this semester. Lesson 14, Vocabulary, has a couple of root words that I think are a little bit more familiar, and the words may be a little bit more familiar, so this week could be a little bit easier for you, but still make sure you're taking all of the notes before you attempt to do the homework. Our first root word is dis. It comes from Latin and it means apart. In English, its meanings have increased to include do the opposite of, as in disestablish. Our first word is disenfranchise. It's a verb. It means to deprive a person or organization of a privilege, immunity, or legal right, especially the right to vote. So if you think back to the early 1900s when women and people of minority could not vote, they were disenfranchised groups. Our second vocabulary word is dissension. It's a noun. It's a disagreement in opinion. So if you have an argument with your best friend about who the best football team is, you and your friend are in dissension. The third is to disseminate. It's a verb. It means to spread widely as if by sowing seeds. So if you want to get information out about an upcoming event, you wish to disseminate that information. And our final word is dissipate. It's a verb. It's to cause to spread out to the point of vanishing, to disperse. So if you spill water on a really hot day, the water will disseminate into the atmosphere, or it will evaporate, spread out, and disperse into the atmosphere. Our second root word is a pair. It's CIRCU or CIRCUM. Now this one is probably also familiar to you. In Latin it means around, so if you circumnavigate, you navigate around, and it's often referred to somebody taking a trip around the world. They circumnavigate the world. Our first vocabulary word is circuitous. It's an adjective. It means having a circular or winding course, not forthright or direct in action. If you go to play mini golf and you get to a super hard hole where the path is winding and it's just almost impossible to make a hole-in-one, it has a circuitous path. Our second vocabulary word for this set is circumference. It's a noun. It's the perimeter or boundary of a circle, or an outer boundary or surface of a shape or object. So circumference does not necessarily apply to only round objects. It can be any shape. A football field has a circumference. A basketball court has a circumference. A tennis court has a circumference. Circumspect is an adjective, careful to consider all circumstances and possible consequences and cautions. So if you are thinking about breaking your curfew that your folks have set for you, you need to be circumspect about that decision. You need to carefully consider all circumstances and consequences of that choice. Circumspect. Our final vocabulary word is circumvent, which is a verb. It's to make a circuit around, to manage to get around, especially by clever means. Say they're shooting a movie downtown Huntington Beach, and the security is just really, really tight. But you think, oh, I can go visit my friend and maybe climb up on the roof and watch what they're doing. You're circumventing the security. So these are our 8 words for this week. Make sure you have them all written down in your notebook before you attempt to do the homework.